I did the Bloody Mary thing in the mirror last week. Got nothing. I saw a small bat, and it was daytime, so I was not scared at all. The first R-rated movie I saw freaked me out. It was Leprechaun.
One, severe droughts have disrupted the Wampus Cat's woods in Appalachia. Without the cover of their redbuds and eastern cottontails, they are unable to catch lost and oblivious backpackers in their gap year. Rising temperatures have diminished snowpacks and will be reduced by 20 to 50% by the end of the century. This has caused some animals, including mythic creatures, to migrate northward. Preservation organizations are encouraging groups to visit the mountains before all biodiversity and beauty has been, in their words, roasted to death. 2. West Virginia's Mothman is being pushed out of his woods due to extreme cycles of flooding and droughts in the mountain state. Increased rain has contributed to erosion and pollution runoff, limiting Mothman's access to clean water. In a rage, he has been seen picking off oil and coal executives snacking on their remains near the 7-Eleven off Route 250. 3. Global warming and increased thermal stress have bleached coral reefs, once precious materials in mermaid kingdoms. The once vibrant blues, greens, and reds have dimmed into starched pale whites. Mermaid engineers and architects are searching for other materials for their scuba diver traps. Some have suggested using plastic, since it's become so abundant in the ocean. 4. Lantana and marigold flowers have begun blooming earlier, confusing the Michigan dogman's hunting and mating rituals. The changing weather has also caused hotter days. Many people were reported fainting this summer, making themselves easier targets for the ravaging Great Lakes creature. However, officials have noted that the dogman's hunting patterns are less opportunistic, as he prefers live prey. He was last seen mauling a Detroit Lions offensive lineman. 5. Increased human-animal conflicts have led to crowded environments, resource competition, habitat destruction, and scrimmages between local Bigfoot populations and elderly folks in the Florida Everglades who are pushing west to urbanize the last swaths of land. A LiveLeaks video caught a skirmish last week where a Bigfoot uppercutted a senior 10 feet into the air, leaving him stuck on a mangrove island during high tide. The man, eventually rescued, said, quote, "See, this is why we deserve the land more than they do," unquote. 6. La Llorona's lakes and canals have reached record high temperatures this summer, topping the high hundreds, hotter than a hot tub. She said, quote, "I know I need to go and eat people's faces and whatever, but the water's just right. Great for my sciatica, but all my pet minnows and trout have died. That's a bummer," unquote. 7. The chupacabra populations in New Mexico and Arizona are experiencing imbalanced sex ratios. As some researchers have noted, hotter temperatures produce more males, thus leading to increased mating competition. The unchosen males, or bro cabras, have taken to bothersome, whimpering, unprovoked, and opportunistic violence against curious farmers and to haranguing female chupacabras in hopes of what scientists say resembles, quote, pity sex, unquote. 8. The Jersey Devil was placed on the U.S. Fish and Wildlife's endangered species list. Only 100 individuals are left in the wild, with some scattered across Atlantic City and Patterson. One was spotted playing single coin slots and talking about getting enough scratch to move to Ottawa with his honey next spring. 9. Climate change has affected the Loch Ness Monster's natural nesting behaviors, causing her difficulty in finding nest materials and areas, as well as putting her and her brood closer to predators. She's been pushed so far out of her habitat that tourists have spotted Nessie near Balmoral Castle with a punk IPA and whipping her considerable neck at anyone attempting a Sean Connery accent. 10. Snowfall has decreased throughout the U.S. The reduction in snow has increased human encroachment and conflict for the abominable snowman. Due to yearly habitat loss, he has moved and changed his name to the slightly repugnant, exurb-dwelling, shaved ape. His studio apartment is under threat of gentrification, and he will need to move again by the end of next year.
Hi, Elise. Once, I saw you in some tea leaves. The psychic asked me where you went, but her timer screeched. I couldn't answer. The payment was cheap, don't worry. She said I'd see you in the wind or some shit like that. I bought some chimes, just in case. They glitter in the sun and talk back just like you. They don't mind the cigarette smoke. In fact, they think it smells so sweet. They tell me that they love me. Maybe they aren't so much like you. I thought I saw your face in the toilet water once. My head was limp but heavy, and all I could do was spin circles in my brain. I think your favorite song was on at the bar. Someone was singing it with your lips, so I crushed them to mine. She didn't do that twirly thing with her tongue, and she didn't purr when my hands roamed down, down, down. So I grew wings and flew to the bathroom stall. Today I saw you on the train, ringed hand on her shoulder, that gaudy diamond blinding me on purpose. I hate her, but I think I hate me more because I can't help but notice she has my green eyes and my Cupid's bow. I taste the crescendo as your mouths devour each other in the middle of the dining car.
Envuelto, Martín Perez. Mother made red chili tamales for Christmas, from thick masa, stringy meat, pale corn husks, and a singular green olive in the center, with the other women around plastic poinsettia tablecloths, Mexican music playing loudly. I got sick because I ate too many of the spicy goodies. It wasn't just that I ate so many tamales. I ate too much of everything. Vomiting didn't stop me. And if I think about it, my eating habits explained a lot about me as a boy. Scared, uncertain, with a strange obsession and observations, as if I was an outsider taking notes about life rather than living it. Eating tamales back then was just like, and nothing like, sitting in the back seat of a maroon Buick when I was in college, away from home, as three young black men and I, a Mexican teen, who had met a week earlier, cruised South 6th Avenue one warm night in Tucson, and drank from a glass of pint of equally warm Schlitz malt liquor wrapped in a paper bag. We laughed at the cops who drove alongside us in their black and white, and that made us feel cool until we pulled over at a Jack-in-the-Box, hung out near the tailgate, and the policeman opened a flashlight beam that cut across the parking lot and landed on us. He asked us who was driving, because we needed to find a way back to campus, because although he was only handing us one ticket, none of us could drive because we were all buzzed. Tossed cans rolled out from under our car as we denied everything. While my first experience getting drunk was not my last, it was lacking compared to later years of drinking, smoking pot, and kissing girls who I only met moments before in dark corners of a party as the band Guy played Groove Me. It wasn't Mexican music, and we weren't near plastic poinsettia tablecloths, but I was still nauseous, and I still mistook indulgence for freedom when it only covered an inability to feel comfortable in my body. I heard I don't know how to love another completely, honestly, from several people because maybe they focus on my affection or lack thereof, but they've not seen me wandering the aisles at KB Toys, Toys R Us, or Yikes Toys as I peruse Godzilla figurines. It's love, right? To obsessively return day after day to the same displays, seeking something new, as if time will create opportunity. Maybe Godzilla is just another thing beckoning me because there's not enough of me in me. Perhaps Godzilla is tamales, or friends, are drinking strong S beer, or the girls I kiss in the hallway as people squeeze by to get to the restroom are the emptiness I feel afterward. Maybe my desire for a kaiju surrogate is simply another way I long for mom and dad, or anyone to love me. I wish I were Godzilla and someone yearned for me without losing desire when they're done playing. In the Falling Turkey episode of WKRP in Cincinnati, a 70s television show in which the main character Andy grimaces at poor Les Nessman's plight, I laugh uneasily because of the humor, but also because I wanted Andy's cool feathered hair and slim build, nonchalant ways, unaffected by absurd tragedies like turkeys falling from the sky, and coolness in peculiar situations. I bet Andy didn't worry about how others viewed him with his perfect smile, neat clothing, and witty comebacks. I watched his buxom co-star Lonnie Anderson after she married the bandit from Smokey and the Bandit, after he appeared in Playgirl, which paused in 2016 but returned in 2020 because people wanted naked men in print again. And I wonder if things in my life were as absurd as Bert and Lonnie, or Falling Turkeys, or Godzilla and Wisecracking Andy, or banging chicks I barely met, or cruising and chugging copious amounts of beer, or smoking pot, or overeating tamales, or if hiding pain and loneliness in the things I call anecdotes is enough to overcome how many times I chose wrongly, or how many times I'll likely choose wrong again.
This circus. Purchased at birth, Mary, the elephant, taught to catch a baseball and stand on her head. Preening gawkers, clapping, cheering. Mary, a draw to delight. Behave, behave. For 20 years, Mary always behaved and entertained humans loyally. Then came an untrained trainer, the bullhook, repeated digs to skin more tender than it looked. Enough. Mary grabbed him, whipped him around, slammed him on the hay-covered floor, crushed his head under her foot, and hurt no one else. Outrageous outrage, suggestions of torture. A mob demanded, kill the elephant. Lifted by a crane, Mary hung by her throat until the circus came to a close.
Communist Country Blues by Pauline Chu. In Nam, settin' on loquat trees, squatting on branches, sweet honey bee, juices running down her chin, ooh-wee. And the red rushes right in. Your hands sticky as the salty sea, your toes painted green and happy, but you be lonesome, thin, ooh-wee. And the red rushes right in. You know it ain't about her culpability, more about her responsibility. She ate that old world sin. Ooh-wee. And the red rushes right in. No sleep when it rains, baby. She be weeping wild in them trees. Shut your ribs against her howling. Ooh-wee. And the red rushes right in. Darling, take care of that drowning body. Shake your heart open best can be. Bear her bites on your skin. Ooh. And the red rushes right in. The war took her from them loquat trees. Sliced up, pretty and clean. Gone, try to go where she has been. And the red lay up within.
Untitled number 2. God to me is a gathering in a cathedral to see a noise show, something bizarre and loud. that marries the bliss of rebirth with the death of your love.
The invasive species. Many times I have referred to the human species as Earth's cancer. I even got reprimanded for the analogy by a professor once. Not all humans, she said, as if there was fault in being, in having, in knowing rogue cells. And then, like a boomerang curse, the cancer comes for me. Invasive lobular carcinoma, invasive human species. I hide under a driftwood tower, rock in a call and response with ocean, asking for, I don't know what. If the cancer has cancer, then I guess it's time we learn our lessons together. Not all cells, I say, as if to dare anyone to find my faults. Good egg. For 6 consecutive nights, I sleep with an egg under my bed. In the morning, I pick the egg up and roll it crown to foot along all 4 sides of my body, then crack it into a bowl and send a photo to my Roma witch friend. Your ancestors are funny, she says, but they're the real deal. I'm not laughing. I have broken plenty of eggs in my life, so I can't deny that these 6 eggs are not for eating. They are for healing. By day, they show me what's wrong in places I can't see. By night, they pull the wrong out of me. Of course, I do the whole protocol, the magic of my era. Mammogram, ultrasound 1, biopsy 1, breast MRI, ultrasound 2, biopsy 2, opinion 1, opinion 2, lumpectomy, nipple-sparing mammoplasty, oncotype DX, radiation, DEXA scan, Prolia, aromatase inhibitors. I'm not an idiot, but I'm also not taking any chances. If the Italian women for generations before me had an agreement with eggs to extract bad energy in the night, then quietly, privately, between the witch and me, I'll uphold the agreement until I get a good egg. Title: 6 months and 6 eggs later, I return to ocean, smaller-breasted, radiated, scarred, numb, confused, quiet, alive, done, but only for now. She looks more menacing this time. She offers no sand carpet, no driftwood cover, no solace. She crashes below me, pounds on the rocks inside her with a rage I suddenly understand.
Lord, as in black, Lord, be patient with the things I've done. Sometimes men chase me in my dreams, arms calling out like long truths. I want to be different enough to love you. In this world, the van of life where the living are the minority. Kate, is that enough? Kate, do you remember that? When I pretended to be asleep and you touched me? They'll come back, you know. They'll know who to shoot.
Don't get too low when I lose, don't get too high when I win. Yeah, I like how it feels. Now everybody's home, I get no time alone. But I don't care, I'll leave a mess of my hair. Yeah, all control is gone.